seconds remaining.
We're looking for all the synergies here. You have to. Yeah.
5 seconds remaining.
Any little advantage you can gain, you'll take it. But I've been impressed when Young PH has picked up the Invoker. Gives you... It's a nice cost Wex game. And combine up with the Earth Spirit making rotations. Well, hopefully they don't go double earn.
I was thinking that just now as well. Hopefully we don't see that again. Honestly, like, Execration's draft isn't lacking anything really significant, right? You're covered for magic damage, you've got good front line, you've got good stuns, you've got decent lane shove.
Their shove, you reckon they have decent shove? That feels a bit weak.
Decent.
Yeah.
Like, Lina just on his own, and Monkey King is able to do it. Like, once you get to level 15 and you're just able to spring yourself away really quickly, I think it's totally fine.
It's definitely better than Yangon's. Like, they do not have heroes to do that. We're still... I mean, we're looking for the flex right now. They actually banned up the Bane, so they believe... I like that Bane ban a lot.
Team ban.
Just in case it was a Bloodseeker position 1 to combine up the lane. It's a super strong lane. That's so difficult to go into. What do you feel like Yangon are gonna go? I know they've got the 24th pick, so we still have to see Execrations, but
10 seconds
do you believe the Avenge is gonna be played as a 3, a 5, the Bloodseeker 3 or 1?
5 seconds remaining.
See the last ban first, although... yeah, I want to see what they ban initially before I look to pick that, because for me it's still completely unknown as to what the positions are for this Bloodseeker and Vengeful Spirit. I'm honestly leaning mostly towards Bloodseeker 1, Venge 5, and they're going to pick their offlaner to end things with, but there's not a ton of great offlaners left. Maybe the Mars? Mars would be pretty decent against a Lina core. Gives you a way to break trees, gives you a ton of... Like, Night Stalker, it's a bad matchup, right? As long as you got the Dark Ascension available, but another thing to use with Rupture, you know, just spear him away, and it's going to be quite nice. And, you know, even just a Magic Missile onto Bloodrite, I feel, is pretty good in the laning stage.
Is that not a difficult lane versus the Monkey, though?
It is, but I'm just trying to think of how they can potentially look to make this work. They still feel like they're lacking some form of scaling here, so they think it's a Monkey 4, I guess, coming through for Execration.
They also think the Lina could be a 4 as well with the TA ban, so they are in 2 minds as well on Yangon. Same with Execration. I would be very content with them putting Lina versus Invoker. I mean, that's a favorable matchup. It doesn't matter if Invoker goes cross Wex or Exort, you're going to have an incredible time at CSing. Bob loves the hero. And they'll go for the Ire. So, Ire Monkey. And that's...
Does leave you a little vulnerable to swaps, I suppose. But... I mean, it just enables your team fight that much further. Maybe sustain was the one area they were lacking a little bit, and the IO definitely looks to provide that.
Their offlane looks really weird though, Night Stalker tied. Because I'm pretty sure you put Iron Monkey together. Or maybe
you can go Night Stalker together?
You can go Iron Night Stalker, yeah. Yeah, that's probably...
And if they do opt to go Bloodseeker Vengeful Spirit as the safe lane duo, then, you know, even with all the damage that you're pumping out, the IO should be able to keep you somewhat healthy. You know, the Night Stalker, of course, already having such good base regen. All right, let's go, Yangon. That's something a little different there. At least you're going to have some kind of, I don't want to say gap close, but like, you don't really want to be using the Celestial Hammer to get away from a Monkey King, but I feel like he's going to have to be able to make this trading work. Yeah, so it is a position for IO, it looks like, with BDZ picking it up. Tidehunter 5, like we were expecting. Good combination together with a Monkey King, and yeah, Zorayan offlane Dawnbreaker. So things going mostly as we expected. I still feel like, you know, what you mentioned before about the Mars into the Monkey King, is it that great of a laning matchup? Well, the answer is no. I don't feel like Dawnbreaker is much better, but there wasn't much left, honestly, in the pool.
Dawnbreaker is a very strong laner though. Like level 2 you do a ridiculous amount of damage, so I wonder if they can get aggressive at the early stages. But if it's going to be a Monkey King Tide lane, they are not easy heroes to kill. But maybe you're not worried about that, because then with all the damage you can do in your separate lanes, that will further enable the Bloodseeker and Venge to maybe put pressure on Nightstalker's weakest stage in the first 5 minutes.
And I feel like this is going to be a Bloodseeker that's looking to be incredibly active, right? Because you need Dawnbreaker. You want to, if you're picking this hero, you want to maximize the amount of time that you're able to spend farming, kind of like a Spectre does in that position 3 roles. So Skille, Lun, and Hao are going to look to make some rotations happen. You know, Rupture into swap or just roll into stun. And then, you know, if you get it on a couple, or if you have heroes join, you can just have Zorain look to ultimate, use that Solar Guardian from the other side of the map and join in and win the team fight in pretty convincing fashion.
So do you feel like Yangon have a much better lineup through the early to mid game, but late game they might teeter off a little bit?
I think so, yes. I am still worried about this Dawnbreaker in the laning stage, though. I'm not sure if it's going to be able to sustain against the Monkey and Tide Hunter. Again, it's better than most, you know, once you get some points into the Luminosity, just to be able to trade against the Monkey King. I mean, that's one of the strengths of the Monkey King in the first place, is that you've just got the Jingu Mastery that you can trade right-clicks and then still feel somewhat healthy. But I'm not sure how good the Dawnbreaker is going to come out of this laning stage.
Oh, it's looking Execration favored in regards to the odds. $2.06 compared to the $6.05. So, I mean, we'll see if Yangon can play up against the bets. And for anyone that is looking to try and bet for the Pro Series Season 8, and N1Bet is a perfect place to do so. You can deposit with digital wallets and crypto. Enter code BTS Dota on bts.gg/N1Bet and get an exclusive bonus without any wages. And again, I must ask, if you had to put your money somewhere, where, you know, where's the place to do it? You favoring Yangon, or is it Execration all the way here?
Well, let's see if Yangon are able to reconnect this time, because last time against Galaxy Racer, it was unfortunate that that Zorain wasn't able to get back into the game where they were in a really commanding position. Although that was 27 minutes in. I feel like if they had any sort of issues, we'd probably be able to remake at this point, just with all pick HG ping. Hopefully that doesn't mean high ping. But if it does, that means Execration is what I'm going for with that little bit of extra information.
Off the back of the no ping, if it was even, still, what do you feel like is the...
Don't put me on the spot.
No.
All right, I feel like the Monkey King Tide is going to be a pretty good lane. I feel like Lina has a fine enough lane against the Invoker. Probably not so much the Nightstalker. Io, you're going to look to get really aggressive with this Bloodseeker Venge and probably get a kill or two. But I don't think it's going to be enough to withstand what Monkey King Pos 1. And again, eventually, it is still a Nightstalker being played in that core role. And he's incredibly effective and fantastic at scaling. So I'm just still going to stick with Execration.
I think that... Has he gone Exort, or... So more than likely cost X on Young PH. I do... I'm worried on how their lane's going to go with Dawnbreaker. I'm still warming up to the hero and her capabilities. I've seen that her lane is incredibly strong. Is it strong enough to go up against the king of the lane in the Monkey? That's a good question. I'm really not sure if it is, but I think Yangon, though...
You can see what he's itemized towards, right? He's got the Orb of Venom. You've got the Tide Hunter, who's going to level up Gush, just so that he can look to get super aggressive against the Dawnbreaker. I mean, even when you're going into the Starbreaker, right? If that's how you're choosing to skill level 1, I'm not sure how effective that's going to be. You know, you might need to use the Celestial Hammer just so that you can secure that range creep. Right now, it feels like if either you or Skille walk forward, you're just going to be dead meat.
I think a lot of the aggression of the lanes is going to help Yangon, though. Like, bot is the one lane I believe they will snowball. So do you believe this is going to be a monkey tide and it'll be BDZ down with Rage Potato?
Yes. I think they might just have the IO tethered together to the Monkey King right now because he's using the Mischief so that he has the faster movement speed. And under the smoke, with the tether, he's going to move even faster to place a super early Observer Ward.
Yeah, I with the IO then playing the Night Stalker lane, that will give them at least...
Some sustain.
Yeah, and I think that's a big thing, because I believe Radiant are going to out-trade that lane and then potentially have kill threat with Missile and Blood Riot. So that's the one lane I'm worried about for Execration. Mid should go well for Bob. I mean, Lina versus the Invoker matchup, like we were speaking about in the draft, it's pretty Lina favored. Invoker can... The nice thing about the cost Wex Invoker is you have kill threat with any rotations, and your skill lead, one of his best heroes is the Earth Spirit, so we'll see how active he can look to get. And maybe they can bring down the squishy Lina early and then trying to transition that into a decent earn timing, then that can further enable young PH to make plays across the map. I just feel like as the game goes on, I would favor Execration, but I do see Yangon like the avenue on how they can look to take this game. I feel like they don't have a huge margin for error.
They don't, and I mean, honestly, like, what do you feel like this Dawnbreaker actually provides to them? Because that's the big thing that I'm a little confused about, right? Like, it enables you to get these pickoffs super early on, but then you're a Bloodseeker looking to try and scale against a Monkey King, and I feel like the Monkey King wins that scaling matchup anytime.
Well, firstly, I think Bloodseeker scale is a lot better than what we've given credit to him. Like, I really think this hero is somehow doing much better in games that are going later than I've been expecting. So I'm intrigued to see how he's going to fare if it gets to that stage. But in regards to the Dawnbreaker, I mean, again, maybe they just feel like this is a hero that can actually lane versus the Monkey King. Like, there's few melees that can still trade versus him. It's not easy, but there's a huge spike in level 2 that they can utilize. They've got global potential, which maybe they feel like is nice against the IO, because right now, Execration are always going to be playing off that +2. Like, it's going to be IO Monkey King, and then you've got Night Stalker and Lina hunting consistently across the map. So maybe they feel like the Dawnbreaker will give them some opportunity to be able to connect and get there just in the nick of time. Because that's
I guess you got to be careful though with the Dawnbreaker on his own as well, though, right? Because you've got this IO combination. You know, all it takes is one hero to be around one area of the map, relocate it, suddenly a 3v1, so you can punish him looking to play a little bit more greedy towards things. Whereas I feel like if you combo with a Mars or something like that I was kind of leaning towards for Yangon, then, you know, the laning stage is probably going to go just as bad, but at least you can work together better with the likes of, you know, a Vengeful Spirit or an Earth Spirit to combo and get some super early damage out.
Yeah, the question is how much damage they can really get out. That's the main thing. You see, looks like chat was pretty happy with us last game with Indonesian. I don't know about you, but
yeah.
your mine's a bit lacking. I was
the only Indonesian you know is Indomie noodles, all right?
Dude, there's nothing wrong with some Indomie noodles.
I didn't say there was. There we go. Getting the nice deep ward off, but both of them ended up doing the same thing, so the smoke gonna bring up Yangon Galacticos to the high ground, and it's just gonna be a mirror play coming out here from Execration. So again, like we were saying before, these two teams, you kind of don't get the sense of how this series is going to shape out because they feel so even across the board.
Yeah, it definitely feels like it's
30 seconds
going to be off the back of the execution now. Like, I think either team is
going for the conga line again. It was actually pinged out there.
Would you say either team is happy with the draft they got?
I'd say Execration's very happy. Anytime you get a Lina and a Monkey King and a Night Stalker, in my eyes, is a draft well done.
The battle
Alright, I was going to be careful here, though.
Look at old backstabberoonie. Cough up first blood. As your position 2 invoker will secure a very nice advantage for the lane. Now they do give up 4 bounties, so that is still no bueno.
Okay. I mean, I'm not sure if that's worth the trade. I guess, did they feel like they were really stronger at level 1 on Execration? I can't imagine they did. So the fact that they went for that exchange, I wonder if it was calculated specifically around wanting to take bounties.
Or whatever they felt, it gave them at least a nice way to offset the early first blood. For young PH, he has to be pretty happy though against the tougher matchup. He's got an early null to play with, so quite often you need the stat items to help offset the damage that you're lacking without the XOR.
Methinks you wanted that.
Liking this from Skill A though, he realizes how strong the Tide Hunter Monkey King lane is together. He's going to use the Boots of Speed with the extra mobility that he has to just pull the creep wave, make sure that Zorain has a place to be able to farm.
I wonder if Skill even just gets all the experience himself. Try and works towards the level 2. And then he might get active, or with that advantage, maybe they can body RR. This is also, of course, taking a full wave away from the monkey at the moment.
And it does, and it also helps to move the creep equilibrium a bit more in your favor. He didn't get all of the creeps with that rotation, but at least now you can see, like, both of them have a healthy amount of farm. Level 2 on Skill A, Dawnbreaker is farming underneath her tower, so it's a small win there for Yangon already.
The other side lane, we're seeing the aggression already come out, BDZ. A lot of regen forced. He's got a Tango in itself still for the lane. Rage Potato with his own Tango. And he's actually got a Spirit Vessel queued up currently on the Night Stalker. So it's be interesting to see if he continues on with this progression.
It's not bad. I think the main purpose of that is just trying to lock in onto the Dawnbreaker in particular, because Zorain's going to be the one that's looking to commit quite heavily into all of these team fights. Skillet has been able to get another pull off onto this wave, so doing a good job already, also blocking up the small camp a couple of times, and it just feels like such a difficult place for RR to be because he doesn't have the boots of speed. He's chasing around this Earth Spirit who has the boots with a 35 movement speed advantage on a wild goose chase.
Do you like that this is still a mechanic in the game?
I think so. I think you should be able to correct any, I don't want to say errors, but if you specifically draft a lane that might not be quite as strong super early on, it's just these little things that, maybe if it was done every single game, you'd be like, all right, let's get rid of this. But it's the flavor, that feels nice.
Structures are fortified.
Zorain is in a bit of trouble at the moment. Doesn't want to use Hammer to de-aggro the creeps. Yeah, I'm also in agreement as well. I think that if you have to play a lane head-to-head and can't find some other way to at least make it somewhat bearable, then it would be a rough life for some of the offlaners. So I think they've done a pretty good job at, I don't know if I want to call it nerfing, but you remember previously it felt like every offlane was just doing this every single game. That's all they were doing. But now it's in the really, really bad matchups, so it's not every game, but of course in some you need that.
This is really good by Yangon Galacticos. So they deliberately half-pulled this wave, so it's underneath the tower. Then Skille made sure that he pulled the hard camp into the wave, so that there's nothing that's going to disrupt the tower being the one to tank up a lot of this threat now. And so Zorain, he's going to very safely be able to take up 2, nearly 3 actually, full waves of farm for himself. Even blocking the... this is really good play from Yangon Galacticos in the offlane.
Yeah.
I cost Skille's life, unfortunately. I was thinking maybe he might try and get the kick off onto RR, who's got the boots of speed in his backpack, but that'll still be enough to kill. Can you imagine if it wasn't?
My lord. But that's okay. Like, you give so much space to Zorain. You stop the pull. Zorain just got 2 free waves, maybe even 2.5 under the tower. Now he's getting an extra one because he stopped the pull. So that kill is absolutely okay.
No, you don't. Mission accomplished.
Yeah, like he's level 4 now, and yep, cool. Nice hero. He was about to do half the health of Tino. don't want to give up the last Jingu. Well, mid. So Young PH has got an early earn. Level 6. Is this Boots coming out for the Invoker? Once he gets Boots, we might see rotations. They can always give the mid lane to one of the supports just to occupy and get some of their early experience, but I like what Skille's doing.
Yeah, I don't think Invoker is the one that needs to be rotating. You got to rotate to his lane. One of the weaknesses of the Lina is that you are so strong at... Well, he's actually going to have his smoke popped here as he walks towards the top lane. I would have definitely tried for a kill attempt here onto Lina, particularly because it's around that 5-minute mark with the siege creep available. You would say that Raging Potato, he's gotten out of this laning stage just fine. You know, not giving up any kills towards this bottom lane. I haven't looked at it at all, to be honest.
So trouble right now. Tino, one more right click. Should be enough. He's actually going to jump away. Rain surviving on 20 health, and yeah, I thought bottom lane was going to go a lot better just off the back of maybe the Dawnbreaker could contest top, surprisingly. But Raging Potato's A-okay. Might go back in now. Sidestep the blood right. Lun doesn't have the movement speed like Hao. And you see just the sustain game. It's too much for them to deal with. They'll TP in Young PH, but the nighttime vision, or at least the awareness, they've been able to reset. BTS will make it, so a lot of space created. Even Bob's looking to show up to the party.
Just Laguna him. Oh, oh.
Just getting range.
The vision.
Oh no, how? Is he speedy enough? This time he's not. And now Lun also overstepped the mark, and they're going to secure a double. It's a successful rotation from Bob, and unfortunately for Young PH, a TP down that he doesn't get anything out of. But they are taking some stacks.
Yeah, stealing it away. They'll see that he looked to come through, though, with RR placing down that Observer Ward. I wonder if they spotted him place that as he walked into the river. They have, of course, an Observer Ward that's been able to spot out. And, yeah, looking to get the D-Ward off really quickly there. Maybe even have a bit of a rotation through from Tino. Nice punishment coming through from Execration. Oh. Not enough mana to TP, though, and he's stuck. He's stuck. Step bro, help.
Oh, no.
Carry forth the light.
Man, what is with your, you good, my guy?
Yeah.
You sure you're making some interesting calls today? We're going to talk about the other one from earlier and now?
No.
Okay.
That's how I'm legitimately feeling.
Well, this is a 2,000 net worth lead for Execration. Oh no, even getting another D-Ward across the map. This is a solid start to their game, and we were saying they don't have the greatest margin for error here, so see how their early rotations. I think the next daytime is where they really need to find an avenue back in. I
agree. You've got Zorain, who's been able to, you know, somewhat recover, at least in terms of levels. You know, 8.5 minutes.
Oh, Hao's in trouble. Mass TP's coming through. Solar Guardian heal. Is it actually going to be enough? Hao to the outskirts. No, they won't keep him alive. But nonetheless, they will gap close on Bob. And now BDZ is also the next target as well. Execration are not going to bring the numbers in just in case you can get some revenge down bottom. They're happy with just giving up 2 because of what they're getting out of the map.
It's a 5-man commitment, though, yeah. So you can see Tino top side looking to pressure the lane in immediately, trying to push it away. Help even RR realizing, you know what, farm probably not for me. I'm just going to go and take away the bounty ring. Yeah, even though the levels are looking okay for Zorain's Dawnbreaker, the farm certainly is not.
Yeah, it's... I wonder where his impact's going to come in through. Maybe down bot, but instantly BDZ will show up. And now Zorain's just collapse under the tower. RR can tank if need be, or BDZ can provide the sustain, but they don't feel like they can kill off the Dawnbreaker, so they'll turn to try and aim for skill A. They are still lacking a little bit of the control, but with the slow coming through in a couple of seconds, they can flood over the Spirit.
Daylight to protect
just wanting to survive for another 5 or so seconds to bring it to daytime, but unfortunately, with the great aggression coming out there from BDZ and RR supporting Raging Potato to clean up that kill.
Double damage.
Trying to make an attempt on Tino. They might need the rupture here.
Without the swap, it's going to be hard as well, and he gets a sense of what's going on. A lot of people missing on the map. Should still look to go down, though.
Poor old Tino. It's a rough life with no assistance, team. TPs, please. He gets none.
I don't think that would have resulted in much of anything, and you've also got the siege creep wave with the double damage. It's daytime, so this is when Yangon Galacticos need to be making their move, and they make it to full effect. Even having the nether swap available now for Lun.
Yeah, it's going to be huge for them to at least get some early real estate, considering Execration still haven't even found a tier 1 tower. So we'll open up Hal and his farming patterns up top. Who's closing in on the Maelstrom, just looking for the last component with the Mithril Hammer. That's also Spirit Vessel completed as well with 2 charges on young PH.
Nice. I think with the Dawnbreaker, she's actually going for a mechanism. I haven't seen a support Dawnbreaker in this regard just yet. I mean, it's all been based around, you know, sure, I'll be doing healing, but it's through the use of the Solar Guardian.
Radiant structures are fortified.
I wonder if they are feeling like they can 5v5 in an early stage. At least they've...
I think they're going to have to get full use out of the Spirit Vessel to combat the IO buffing up. They missed the Tornadoes, so the Pick Pole might be enough to get Raging Potato to safety, and it will. Haven't used that first Ravage, though, so you can see RR, he's just looking to rush that Blink Dagger as quickly as possible after some max value items in the Magic Wand, the Wind Lace. I like it.
I know South America were big proponents of the Position 5 Tidehunter. Did you get to see any of their item builds, however?
Radiant are scanning.
Not particularly. I feel like it would be something like a Blink Dagger into maybe a Solar Crest or just a Medallion to allow you to stay around on the map for a good period of time.
Yeah, I was just going to say if it would be like a Medallion before the Blink, or if the rush in it was the main avenue. I think that's what we saw.
Like if the lanes have gone this well, I think you can afford to save up for the Blink, right? The Medallion is much more of obviously the, again, early value, but having to respond to a lot of aggression that might be coming out against you.
Tino.
Set in stone.
Oh, that was very close to breaking the tree. That's a lot of space. Now you got to be careful across the map as how. Well, if they're not coming for the Monkey King, they're going somewhere else, and straight on the Bloodseeker. Solar Guardian healing. I don't think it's enough through the burst, or is it? House somehow surviving for a decent rate to allow for the reinforcements to show up, and they'll punish. Yes, the Bloodseeker will lose his life, but the answers are there with 2 heroes dropping.
Instant turnaround potential. I actually thought that they'd use the TP scroll on at least one of those heroes to get down towards the bottom side of the map, but just goes to show the value of making sure you're saving your TPs as much as possible. Never TP a short location, because it means that a turnaround play like that can't happen.
Does Celestial Hammer maxed out one-hit crit waves?
Pretty strong. Feel like it does, yeah. They have to be careful here, though. They did use the Dark Ascension, right? So even though you've got Raging Potato TPing in, you've got the Ravage available. Not sure if it...
It's got haste.
Wanna...
Be chilling. Oh.
Never mind, they do.
Swap away. Nice sidestep from Bob. They're not going to have to target down Lund, but that's a waste of the Ravage. BDZ looking to show up to protect the Tide. The Execration feels strong at the moment of the daytime. Tino even looking to get involved as well. This is the reveal of the Diffuser Blade, so he can gap close on young PH, and... oh, they know the Bloodseeker is still not showing up at the moment. This could be the fight for him to put his statement on the game, but diving deep behind the tier 2 tower is still yet to be seen. The cleanup crew. Just
lands onto one. I think they were maybe trying to really kite them underneath that tier 2 tower. You could see they popped the glyph as well for the multi-shot to proc on, and maybe that would have given them the extra damage needed for how to have that huge impact. But he has to be careful here. They're all still hanging around in the region. Bob could... No, he can't actually TP away. They saw that he TP'd into that previous
Oh,
fight.
this
but
might
the
just be a
Wukongs-
bait. Great spring from Tino. Swap out onto the backline. Lina once again protected from the Iro. They're unable to deal with BDZ. Just the consistent heal that the Iro can provide. Now they're on How as well. Once again, they'll play around with the Solar Guardian, so the Bloodseeker won't be killed off. But it's the night time, and it's time for Execration to rock and roll. They'll push back Zor Rain. They want to dive deep though. It's past the tier 2 tower, almost up at the high ground of the tier 3. They can just slowly poke him from afar and bring down the Dawnbreaker.
Just Monkey King things, you know. Diving tier 3 towers at the 15-minute mark without too much of a care for yourself. Even looking to relocate to the top side. How? You got to be careful here. Easy cleanup for Bob.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
I don't know if you can kill him this time.
They look at
Maybe,
in 5. Oh, the damage, Bobby. He was out. What a timing.
Is under attack.
And they're still taking bot. Not even caring about taking these tower right clicks with BDZ looking to heal him up. They saw such a heavy commitment towards the top side.
Alright, so how do you kill BDZ? Craft me a way that Yangon can do it.
Radiant's bottom tower.
Yeah, alright. Rolling Thunder into Kickback into Rupture into Nether Swap.
Huh. Damn, they're at that bad of a stage where you got to Rupture an IO.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Pretty much. It feels like if you're not taking him out, he's just going to run rampant in every single one of these. You know, we've seen he's not just permanently latched to Tino either. You know, the laning stage, of course, paired together with Raging Potato. It'll get to a stage later on where he does want to just stick with Raging Potato as well. You know, just buffing up that right-click damage even further. Remembering that the Dark Ascension, of course, it increases your bonus damage, so any kind of extra attack speed that you're able to provide with the Overcharge is going to be incredibly impactful, especially for a Night Stalker that hasn't opted for the Echo Saber build. He's gone into the Spirit Vessel instead.
So Zorain's going Aghanims, which...
The evasion's going to be nice.
But that's only 1 second, right? Am I reading this wrong?
Dire's middle tower
yes?
is under attack.
I guess? I haven't seen it in use, actually.
I mean, 60 is a lot.
Maybe the channeling time is reduced in terms of, like, the period that you're on the ground channeling it and can get interrupted, but you're actually in the air for the same amount of period, same amount of time,
Okay.
and providing those benefits for longer, you know? Yeah, so Solar Guardian can be cast again after takeoff to land early, so you can land earlier for that instant stun if you want to.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Interesting.
Utility-oriented POS 3, though, when... I mean, the
Dire's
Bloodseeker,
top
he's been
tower
keeping
is
up
under
better
attack.
than what we've been expecting, but he still doesn't feel like that hyper carry that's going to win the game.
But I think it's... We've seen what's been happening, though. Top.
Perfect location.
Gonna relocate to catch out Skill Lay.
Nope.
Will they kill him? Please tell me. Oh! Wowee, that was very close. We've seen what's been happening though with the Solar Guardian. Like, they've been getting a lot of space. You are heavily committing to take one target. Hold that thought, young PH. Lon might have to swap him. Solar Guardian coming to the fray. They're deep next to the tier 2 tower. Does the Bloodseeker want to look to show up? They need a way to protect young PH, but Tino's just locked on.
Die with me.
They're even going for Zorain, man. Tino, he doesn't know when to stop on the train. He's just going for a secondary target. Bob to pick up the double. They haven't skirted off the tracks and they're at the destination of kill, kill, kill.
See there with Raging
Radiant's
Potato, he
middle
was
tower
blinking
is
in
under
further
attack.
into the base, trying to pick off someone that was looking to try and help the
Dire's structures
Dawnbreaker,
are
but instead...
Alright, well, how
Up
needs
for the top
trouble?
side. And still 15 seconds left on that night time. He should be totally fine to continue the aggression forward. And it seems like every single time Raging Potato plays this hero,
Radiant's middle
he gets
tower is under
maximum
attack.
like value
Radiant's
out of
middle
every
tower
single
has
5
fallen.
minutes.
there has to be the argument of, do you ban out the Night Stalker now? Or even if you...
I think it's first.
Is under attack.
I totally
Yeah.
do.
I do not remember what Yangon banned out to swap up. Maybe they can go the Night Stalker themselves, but if you do that, then you're giving Execration the opportunity to pick up Venge. He's done way too much for them. 6, 1, and 10. The lane went exceptionally well. The first nighttime went incredibly well.
If they catch him, he doesn't have the Blink Dagger available, no Dark Ascension either. Should be an easy kill that they're able to get. Relocates is available, he's gone for it. Oh, he was off the mark though on BDZ.
Do they help BDZ? Are Oz nearby?
Like, the swirling light, guys, is this a bug?
Oh, they brought Bob back. Oh, surprise! BKB Lena, they're gonna chase him down. Oh no, they weren't ready for that. All of a sudden, two heroes appear at the blink of an eye. And at the same time, their heroes evaporate instantly as Zorain... Oh, nice use of the ultimate this time. It'll pop it to escape, but... Ow, that's the trap sprung.
I forget if it was Yangon Galacticos that were the ones that did this last time, but I feel like if you're building into the Aghanim Scepter on a Dawnbreaker as a strength hero, you gotta buy at least the Ogre Axe components so that you can have some additional value coming out for the now. As well, they'll find out skill A as he tries to TP away, doesn't have mana, so he's dead. But yeah, like when you're playing this Dawnbreaker, it's not even like it reveals anything, right? Because they could think it's a BKB, they could think it's an Echo Saber. So Ogre Axe on its own, I think, is totally fine to pick up. But yeah, he eventually does.
Oh, see how they can take a fight around a choke point. They just might not get out to the Roche Pit fast enough, though. They've got even a DD on Bob if need be, and in fact, BDZ is actually prioritizing the Lena for the tether target. RR's also got Blink as well. I mean, these fights have already been going superb for Execration, and looks
They
like
can
it's...
get there in time. This is really big, but they're not going to be able to, considering Night Stalker, it is daytime, doesn't have the Dark Ascension.
Oh,
They might even look to continue the fight still. Never mind.
We'll see what a high ground defense can come into play. Who got the Aegis? Was it Monkey or Lena? It was Lena, okay. But you can siege very safely from Bob. He's got Grow Bow as well.
IO buffing him up.
Yeah. BDZ's gone Holy Locket too, so they've had big issues with the Ball of Light so far, and it seems like that's only going to continue.
Just keeping that Fiery Soul active. Not even wanting to go onto the high ground just yet. Looking to play the safer way. Secure all of those outer towers. Prevent any kind of... Well, not necessarily prevent any kind of aggression, but make you think twice about even going out to your own triangle camp.
Top tower has fallen.
Also gives them the time to allow the Dark Ascension to be back up online. Raging Potato, he's level 16 now, so maxed out the Crippling Fear. It's unfortunate, but it just feels like there's nothing that these supports can do if he locks in onto them. Hell, even the Invoker at this stage. Might even look to wait for the BKB to be available on the Night Stalker before they make the push. Never mind, they're just looking to try and smoke up here with, was that the BKB or was that the Sanj picked up by Tino?
Now they will suffer.
Sanj just picked up.
Alright. They're feeling pretty safe right now. He's not going to play around in the trees, so see you later, skill, eh?
Their scan is almost... There we go. They know exactly where How is. Instant TPs. Oh, you gotta get out.
He's got the Blink Dagger as well.
Alright, well, he's dead. Good knowing you, brother.
He's got BKB. That's the only way you get away from this.
Too late.
No, okay, never mind.
Oh, yes. Lena machine gun. I mean, you thought you nerfed the hero enough. Surprise.
And then by the time they get back, guess what? Nighttime. So you might not have the Dark Ascension available, but use the Arcane Rune before popping it, so the downtime isn't going to be that bad. And yeah, they're just trying to look to clean up the Vengeful Spirit. Ended up using the Crippling Fear just before the daytime, actually.
They're gonna relocate on the T3 tower! Man, Execration have their number well and truly. Zorain, no escape. They do use the Wukongs a bit ambitiously. They're actually going to look to take the fight, but instantly they'll lay down the Ravage just to make sure that Yangon have no way to even deal with the first life. A swap to safety, but Skillet will fall. Lung to join him in the afterlife. An ultra for Tino. Give this man a rampage. He well and truly deserves it with his performance so far, and it looks like he can pick it up. As Bob is like, you know, brother, I'll give it over to you. You know, with how well you played, it's only fitting for us to potentially end on a rampage.
Yangon, they have a theme of not calling GG until the absolute last moment, but I feel like even for them, this is pretty ambitious.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Yeah, she done and does it, seems like.
Middle barracks are under attack. Radiant's middle barracks has fallen.
Tricky way to come back in now.
Radiant's middle barracks.
We've seen crazier things earlier in the day. They just...
Maybe if the agent was about to time out, but still a minute 10 away.
I mean, they just got Sanjin Yasha and Aghanim shot on Tino. Ty just picked up a Solar Crest. Night Stalker just got BKB 2. So, yeah, now you're going against a lot of extra items.
Yeah. Night Stalker nearly level 18 as well. Has Dark Ascension available. Also the Quicksilver Amulet, just because he needed more speed.
It's a cool Night Stalker set too. I reckon that's also giving him the power. Definitely cosmetics win games. I think everyone knows this.
That must be the thing with the Dawnbreaker. It's too new, you know?
Yeah, no cosmetics, that's why. Just wait until this hero grows in power. Then you'll know the true potential of the League hero. You ain't got one last ditch attempt. Oh, how it's just getting ripped apart. The Lena machine gun as the game goes on. As the crits are too much for them to deal with. Like you were saying, I mean, there's a trend from Yangon. They don't tap out. So, Execration will have to beat them into submission. Which they're well and truly trying to do.
Alright, I think they've done it.
You think? I don't know. They're buying back.
We got this, boys. Winnable.
Bobby?
They want 2 rampages. Maybe that's the reason.
Oh, that is... No, you stopped the double rampage, Tino. Okay, well, still you haven't gotten on top of the IO. They tried to swap them out of the Wukongs, but just the outskirts was not enough as... There we go. Hal will call it quits in Execration. An incredibly solid Game 1 performance from them.
Back for vengeance.
Absolutely. Yeah, like I was talking about it, right? I feel like you just let them have too many of the strong heroes right now. On its own, Monkey King can do so much. On its own, Lena can do so much. And, you know, even just after those first 4 heroes of the draft, I was like, there aren't too many weaknesses to what Execration have been able to pick up to this point. So they got everything that they could have possibly wanted. And the IO was just the cherry on top.
Yeah, without a doubt. BDZ had a exceptional performance on the IO. Very impressed with how he was able to play in. You know, this is a hero that we're still not really seeing a whole lot. And I'm surprised because it feels like when we are getting the ball of light, you know, we've seen Boom played a couple times. They've had exceptional success on it. Now Execration looked very strong with it. I really wonder if maybe this is a hero that's undervalued. You know, maybe towards the later stages, you know, once we get to the playoffs, we might see some teams pick it up a little bit more. But at the moment, it seems still very situational. But for Execration, they're happy with that. A Game 1 performance like that, securing a very classic victory with the execution. Just no messing around here. We saw a 28-minute GG, and I think a background, you know, sums up the story of this game as well. Mr. Night Stalker on Ragey Potato had a solid performance, and my eyes are now on Game 2 draft, and I feel like Yangon, they're doing the same thing as well. Looking for a reset and how they can come back and attempt to tie up the series, but only time will tell. Send it to a short break with Game 2 around the corner.